And we are live. What's up, everybody? I'm Jay from Leprechaun TV and your host of the Hot Seat, where we light the fire underneath our guests. But I got too many fires to start here. I got a lot of guests. First of all, I got Joey Edibles from Square Table Degenerates joining me in house for Veterans Day special. I also have my good friend Daryl from Bad Beast Barbecue joining us. And I got David Frog from Froggy's Kitchen joining me. Appreciate you guys joining. Happy birthday to the Marines out there. And also a special shout out to my sister. Today is her birthday also. I love you. And she had foot surgery today, so I'm thinking about you.
Which foot?
The left one.
Okay.
Or the right one.
You don't know? You don't know?
It's 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
It's a 50-50. The one she broke.
Oh, it's probably good for good surgery.
Yeah.
You want to go to one of those subpar hospitals where they work on the other foot. It's fucked up.
So what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Doing good.
Awesome.
Living the dream.
So usually with this, I go around the horn, let everybody know who you are and what branch. I'm gonna start with Joey here. So
I'll get the party started, and then I'll ask the questions to the other guys and make it simple.
Right on.
All right. So yeah, my name is Joey Edibles. I was in the service from 95 to 2015 in the Air National Guard for most of it. And I was active duty Air Force for a little bit. Done tours to like Iraq, Phoenix, Spain, a bunch of places. I've been all over the world, etc. And I never failed a drug test while I was in. Only took like 4. And what else? There was something else I was going to notice about my service. Yeah, we drank a lot. And I got out of a lot of work. But that's how you got to do. You got to manipulate. If you don't manipulate, they're going to take over your whole career, man. They really will. They really will, man. All right, Dave, what branch were you in, bro? Tell us what branch you were in and what years you served, bro.
All right, I actually joined the Navy, but was assigned to the Marines. I'm a corpsman, and for those who don't know what a corpsman is, that's a military version of the medic. So I did 80 to 84 active duty, Beirut, Grenada, then 84 to 92 reserves for a total of 12 years. And I wore green 11 out of those 12 years.
Okay. Were you assigned to the Atlantic Fleet, Pacific Fleet? What fleet were you assigned to?
I'm sorry, Joey.
What fleet were you on? You were on ships, right? We were on some boats, correct? Some carriers or something. What ships were you assigned to?
LPD 14 and LPD 12, the Shreveport and the Trenton. Those are what we went over to Grenada, then Beirut. That's the only time I was on ship.
Okay. What land bases did you get to go to?
Boot camp was in Great Lakes, Illinois. I did a little time in Newport, Rhode Island at the medical hospital there, and the rest of the time, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Okay. So are you prior to 82 or post 82 for the Lejeune? Prior to 87, so you're subject to all the Lejeune lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
Have you looked any of it up yet? How many emails do you get per day about the Lejeune thing?
Oh, about 4.
Crazy, right? What? There's gonna be like $9 billion out there or something for these people. I think
I'm going to tell people right now, I'm in contact with a lawyer, and I get updates weekly from the lawyer for the Camp Lejeune poison water. Be careful on these Facebook ads and these emails. A lot of them are fake and spam emails coming in to try to get information or phishing for information from you. The lawyers that I've contacted, it's a group out of California that are working on this, and there has been no settlement as to date. And actually, at one point, the Navy was denying it and not approving it through the VA. So unless you have,
we got a lot of Lejeune stuff at the VA. There's a lot of stuff coming through.
Well, you got the commercial.
You have a specific disease to that, there is no claim. So
VA's been going back for many years now with the Lejeune stuff. I mean, it's been like 15 or 16. It's been quite a while. I mean, we've done it. Everything is routed through the Louisville office, and they do everything with it.
Yeah.
So also, Dave, when you got out, did you want to get out? Why did you end up getting out? Just because your enlistment's up? What was any thoughts of re-enlisting? What did you do after the service?
I did my 4 years active. I had enough at that time. Got out. Then, a young family, young wife, the extra income. So I did the reserves for another 6 years. And I had the chance to re-up again, but with Desert Storm popping up, young wife, young children, military life isn't a place for a wife. So
No, not at
it was
all.
time
Not
to
at
get
all.
out.
I'm going to 100%
After
agree
12
with you.
years. Plus, I've been to the Middle East once. That was enough. Hey, Thrash, how you doing?
Cheers, Froggy.
What's up, Thrash?
Thresh is in the house as well. What's up, buddy?
Welcome in, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. And tomorrow's your day. Yeah.
Thresh is probably the most veteran of the group. I would say he really liked his service. So we'll go with Tim next, bro. So Thresh, tell us about what branch you were in, what your MOS was, and what years you served.
Army
And we'll get into the-
MOS was a 31 Charlie. Really, that was communications, man. So
Okay.
single channel radio operator. So Korean War era crap that was there, and I'm sorry, guys, I'm sick tonight.
Me too.
Yeah, my wife has the corona. Sorry, guys. Anyway,
Oh,
served from 94 to 84 to 93. I don't feel good, guys.
okay.
That's all right, bro. Tap. That's fine.
All right, we'll throw it over to Daryl.
Yeah. Get some rest, brother. All right. Hey, Daryl, my brother, what's going on, man? All right,
Hey,
so you were in the
what's going
service. When did you start? I know I was Air Force, so I could ask a lot more Air Force-y questions. When did you start basic? What year were you in?
Well, out of high school, I went to Marine Basic in Camp Pendleton, and I did the 12 weeks Marine boot camp, and then joined the Marine Reserves back home while going to LSU for a couple of years. While I was in the Marines, I did the I can't remember the MOS, but it was the M47 Dragon, the anti-tank missile.
Dragoon.
Yeah. So, life expectancy 8 seconds in the combat, that type of stuff. So I did the Marines for 3 years. And then right as I got ready to separate from the Marine Corps, I went active duty Air Force, got married, went active duty Air Force, and went to Lackland for about 2 weeks as what they call a proficiency advance, since I'd already been in the service. And then from there, my first duty assignment was Altus, Oklahoma, one of the most austere locations I've ever been to.
One of the most remote AMC bases out there. I specifically requested when I got it never to send me to Altus, and I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to go to Altus.
Yeah, it's technically was a few miles from being classified as a stateside remote. That's how bad it was. So, but I was in prison there for 6 years, and then finally got an assignment overseas. And once I went overseas, I didn't come back for 17 years. So we did 7 years in Misawa, Japan, loved it, and then we did another 10 years in Germany between Ramstein and Simbach, going back and forth. And then my last duty station was Dover, Delaware. I was there about 1.5 years before I retired. So.
Okay, what was your AFSC when you were in the Air Force?
2S supply.
Oh, okay, you were supply. When were you at Dover? What year were you at Dover?
I retired from Dover in 2010, so I was there from like 2009 to 2010.
Okay, I was at Dover.
Were you able
a
to
summer
take your
camp
wife
in Dover
overseas with you?
Say again, Froggy?
Were you able to take your wife with you overseas?
Oh yeah, man. My wife cried when I told her we was coming back stateside, man. She loved being overseas, man. So matter of fact, my son was 2 years old when we left to go overseas, and when he came back, he was 19. So he did high school in Dodge and everything, and so that was the one good thing about being overseas for so long, is that I didn't really have to worry about him being like in the stateside school system and what have you. So it all worked out well. Love to travel. We definitely missed it, but once I got to Dover, I was running one of the largest warehouses in the Air Force there, and our chief had PCS, so I was running everything and working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and sometimes on the weekends. And after about a year of that, man, my health was going down. And so I woke up one Friday morning, man, and sat on the side of the bed. And the wife was like, "You going to work?" I said, "You going to be late." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm going in today and I'm going to push the button." And she was like, "Oh, no, you're not going to retire." Shit. As soon as I got into the office, man, I put that retirement paperwork in, man. I couldn't do it no more, man, because it was killing me. You know, it was just too much. So yeah, like I keep telling people who ask me, you know, how do you know when it's time to retire? You'll definitely know when it's time to retire.
Your body tells you when it's time to retire.
And your mind.
Your mind or body.
Once I hit 20 years, I was retired out of the guard, so it was a little different. I didn't ever enlisted active duty. I was enlisted right in the guard. My whole career was guard. And I mean, besides, you know, active duty trips and all that, but like I was always under a guard status, you know what I mean? And like, man, I front loaded the last year of drills. Like they let me do everything in October. So I only had to do like fucking one processing drill in like April or something. That was it. And then I was just done, like 20 years, 0 days, 0 months, 0 hours. I'm done. It's time for the cannabis. You know, I was done with it.
Yeah, I did 26 in the Air Force. So, you know, so when I retired, you know, they gave me credit for 29 because, of course, for my Marine Corps time, they tacked that on there. So,
nice multiplier. Shit, I don't get my retired pay until I'm 59 and a half, I think, from the guard.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I've been retired for 10 years. I've been collecting mine.
Darnell, you come up my way, we'll sign you up at the store where I volunteer at. All the free over-the-counter meds and food to our vets.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I get that VA money though. That VA money is nice though. I'll tell you that. That VA rating is going to save you. If you're out there and you haven't applied for VA benefits, definitely do that shit because you need to. I mean, the money's there for a reason. Like, it's meant to, you know, assist you in life. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you know, whatever. I mean, you should use it.
Yeah, no doubt.
One to Korea. What moves you in Korea, bro? I was in Korea in 04. I did summer camp in Korea in 04. Korea was fucking hot, yo. Korea was really hot. That's a good question. Okay, let's get around the horn on this. Daryl, what was your hottest place you went to in the service?
Kirkuk.
I was in Kirkuk. Nice.
Kirkuk. I did Kirkuk for 6 months, man. Living in bunkers and shit, and then diving from mortar attacks on the runway and shit, man, and doing ramp services in the middle of the night and 1 o'clock in the morning. That was one of my worst deployments, man. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was in Kirkuk in 2011, but it was cake because they were closing the base down.
So we were closing the base down.
Yeah, we didn't have nothing. Nothing. It was cake.
Nah,
I had 2 points coming in a week. It was great. I was just fucking chilling, dude.
Well, you know how close the base was to the city, so they could literally sniper fire from the water towers downtown onto the installation. So that's how bad it was when I was there. So,
well, the whole one side of the base, not the side open to the the fields and shit where the farmers would go, but like the whole side of the base to the city, they built a fucking giant dirt pile. You couldn't hit nothing. You couldn't see shit.
Yeah, between that and the burn pits, man, breathing in that toxic air all the time and shit, man, and that was one of my worst deployments, man.
Yeah, there were some. I bet you we covered up a lot of your guys' paint walls when we were over there because they were covering up all them walls when we left. You know, the people would paint like, oh, this is the 437th AMS, and they pull the unit names and shit. They got rid of all that. They painted over everything. They always things over it. All that money go to winnings just like that. They didn't take them Jersey barriers home. They just painted over that shit. That's great. It's cool how so many people were all in Kirkuk. Yeah, 3 Kirkuk guys. All different times too. Isn't that wild? Well, was there when the base opened? Fucking Darren was there when the base is operating. I was there when the base is closing.
That's crazy.
Right? Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So, Dave, if you could go back in right now, but you could pick like your assignment and you weren't subject to like PT and shit, would you do it? If the country said, hey, I need you for like 6 months.
No regrets, yeah. In a heartbeat.
I think I'd do it. If they would let me smoke weed and I wouldn't be subject to PT test, I would go back in.
That's the only problem now. Now that I'm 61, I don't know if I can pass the PT test.
I'd even take a rank reduction. I'd go down to like fucking E5 for that shit. I really would. They let me smoke weed in the service.
So let me answer a question for Skinner, if I may. Skinner says he put up here a little bit. He's doing the paperwork for the VA, and I agree with you. I had a Disabled American Veteran Organization. That's what they call the DAV. Fill out my initial paperwork for disability with the VA. And every town and every community in Massachusetts, I don't know about where you live, has a Veterans Affairs office that can put you in contact with somebody who will help you fill out that paperwork. So if you're having problems getting this paperwork filled out or trying to get disability, check with your local community for the Veterans Affairs office. And they can probably put you in touch with the Disabled American Veterans, which is the DAV, or any other veteran organization that will help you fill out the paperwork and get you going in the right direction.
You can hit me up on the DL because that's my job. So hit me up and I'll let you know the right thing to do and stuff like that. Because they pass stuff all the time. And this PACT Act stuff they just passed, the PACT, it's a burn pits and all that, but they expanded, eligibility for so much stuff. Like you were in the Navy, they expanded the Agent Orange presumptives to Guam up until like 1980. So if you were like in a boat in fucking the Navy in the 70s, anytime pretty much, you're going to get presumptive for Agent Orange. Same thing with the Johnson Atoll, and there's a couple other spots they did in Thailand. Like anybody in Thailand now gets it. And like the burn pit stuff is crazy. Like any asthma or any, pretty much any cancer is covered by any of the respiratory stuff. I mean, beyond the stuff that was already covered, it really expanded a lot. I mean, we're hiring, the agency has about 16,000 people right now. They said they're hiring another 8,000. That's a 50% increase. You got so much benefits they're doing for the vets. Man, it's really going to be crazy out there and awesome. It's really even good.
So Josh could actually probably get it done via text message or message.
Well, I mean, it's so
like if they're handing him a paper, he could turn around and reach out to you, like Joey.
Yeah, see, is this good? What should I apply? Stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's super easy. You just go to the VA website, va.gov, and click apply for disability compensation, follow the prompts, and the rest kind of works out. A lot of people do freak out. They really do. I mean, it is, and I will admit it's a bureaucracy. It's a $300 billion budget at this point. Shit gets lost occasionally. It happens. VA is not perfect. I mean, it's going to happen. 95+% of cases go through, and they're really good, and they're good. Especially anybody newer, you discharge after 1980, you're fine. All your paperwork's there. I mean, it's easy cake. Good to go. All right, can we have a conversation debate about which branch has better foods, meals, etc.?
I saw that. I saw Homo put that up there.
Homo threw that monkey wrench right into shit. All right, you guys, enough about your big balls and shit. You know what I mean?
On the overall, Air Force has the best food, except for the Submariners.
I would say the Navy's got some better chow halls than the Air Force does in some areas. The Navy really does have some good food.
Well,
Submariners have the best chow, period.
I've been on both sides. I've eaten in Navy chow halls and I've eaten in Air Force chow halls. Now, Navy's got some great food, man. They got some fantastic chow halls. Now they're close with the Air Force, but I tell you, when you talk about food in the military, it depends on your situation. Come tell you, if you've been out in the out there on the trail all day long, man, hell, right, just some hot rice and gravy and shit, man, will taste good, man.
So it could be out of a can.
Yeah, out of a can, man.
Right on.
What's MRE?
Yeah, sure.
MRE.
I never went out.
They were excellent,
I never had to worry about that problem.
When I was first generation MREs. We converted from the sea rats.
No,
the oldest sea ration I ate, the original packing date was 1941, and we converted over to the MREs. And that was first gen on the MREs. So we had this thing called dehydrated beef and pork patties. There wasn't enough water in your teeth to rehydrate that little patty. I mean, you had to have boiling water. They give you this little vial of Tabasco sauce, a bag of fake beans done in ketchup. So basically, you could make a little chili out of it. But I'll tell you what.
The worst one was that damn Chung King shit.
Oh yeah, that chicken a la king. Oh, that was nasty.
That was nasty.
What you call it?
How about the pound cake?
Now we used to fight over the pound cake.
Oh yeah. Take a cocoa packet, make a frosting out of it, put it over the top of the pound cake with grape jelly in the center.
Oh yeah. But see, when I was in the Navy, When I was in the Marines,
think
though,
it's basic.
I remember the sea rations that came in the can with the old John Wayne you used to open up the cans and stuff. So, and those were pretty good. They were just heavy as hell to carry.
Yeah.
Cigarettes,
Well, yeah.
I
To carry
never-
a
I
week's
never
worth
ate
of those would fill up your Alice pack.
Hmm.
I was never in the field, dude. So I mean, like even in Iraq, like Wep was saying, they had great chow houses in Iraq. It was awesome. Like I was never really in the field. Even if there was, I just waited until we got back and just ate a Pop-Tart or something. I wasn't even dancing that shit. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. I ain't joined the Air Force before. You know what I mean? You know, MRE, people can talk all day about which MRE is the best. They're all bullshit. They all suck. There's not a good
They
one.
all suck.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no shit.
Although, so I don't know what you guys had, but my daughter just brought home some decent ones, bro. Like they were decent. Like it was like a hamburger helper in a pouch.
The chili bag was okay. Chili bag was
You know what I
fucking
mean?
good, yeah.
It was like I could work with this.
Those things, they're so filled with carbs though. They fucking fill you up so much, man.
Oh,
It's
you
so
still got a John Wayne.
This, folks,
Yep.
if you don't know what it is, it's the P-38. We called it a John Wayne, and that's how you open cans.
Can of whoop ass? Is it?
That thing was
that
as
can of
important. That thing was
whoop-ass
as
or a
important as your
can
dog
of-
days.
Hey, corned beef. You guys have corned beef hash in the can? Bro,
That would have been a luxury food.
I
Chopped ham
believe
and eggs.
I believe that would have been like a meal.
Well, it's
You know what
funny
I mean?
now because like now they're starting to cater to different diets and shit. So they have like vegan MREs and shit like that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I got vegetarian, vegan MREs, all kinds of stuff.
There you go.
Now
Yeah, I have no idea where my dog tags are. I have no clue. Not one.
the chow halls at the deployed locations were all pretty good. I got to say that. I mean, even the one at Kirkuk was the chow hall was really good. The only one I have ever had problems with was when I was stationed at the Kuwaiti International Airport on one deployment, and they came in and they closed them down for some reason. They wasn't clean enough or something. They closed them down for like 4 weeks, and we had to eat MREs for like a month and shit. So that was quite a change, man. But most of your deployed locations, places to have some good food. So especially like if you get lucky enough to go to Al-Udeid, which is not really even a deployment, that's like Disneyland in the desert and stuff.
I have a good LED story. So we were for those who don't know, LED's in Kentucky. Stop over for a couple days. They organize your shit and they send you to the deployed location from Qatar. But when we were coming in, it was our first night. We went for midnight chow, and the TCN, they call them TCNs, third country nationals. I don't know where he's from, some Middle Eastern country, whatever. But he was carrying a plate of hash browns, right? And he tripped or whatever, and everything fell on the floor. Everything just fell on the floor. He picked everything back up, put it back in the bin, and just put it back in the thing.
What?
Dude, he's supposed to throw that shit out. Everything was just on the floor. He put it back on the shelf. My buddy was like, I'm never eating from that spot right there ever again. After he saw that shit, it was great.
No. Has
Oh, my
anybody had field coffee? I know you have, Darnell. Field coffee. Now,
Field coffee. Describe field
everybody
coffee.
in the military, coffee is your life. You get up in the morning, you're looking for that cup of coffee. Now, the way they make coffee in the field, they got this, it must be a 20-gallon or 20-quart pot of the water, the big deep pots this big around. They get that boiling with water. They take the can of coffee and dump it straight into the boiling water. Shut off the heat, let it steep for about 10 minutes. Then they sprinkle some cold water on top of it to make all the ground settle to the bottom. So if you weren't there to get the first cup out of that, and you're the guy that slept in, you're plugged at the bottom of that pot.
You got a mouthful of
That is
ground.
field coffee.
Shit, that wasn't me, bro. I usually just brought the shit out to the flight crew, so I had the same coffee the pilots drank. I never had that problem. I had Seattle's Best and like whatever the flight kitchen had to offer. That's what I was giving. That's what I was drinking. Shit, we always had good coffee in the airport, bro. Shit.
Got some good therapy.
Being medical, one of our duties, besides putting Band-Aids on the dummies that are playing chicken with their K-bars, Darnell, and don't tell me you didn't. is health, sanitation, and hygiene. So we would have to inspect the cooking areas. We'd have to hit the latrines and make sure the stuff is getting burnt off and cleaned up, that kind of stuff. So we had to inspect the kitchens and make sure they were up to code and walk around with our little thermometers, making sure everything was at 165. But,
That green bean coffee that Webb's talking about, they had that over in Kirkuk. That was a cool program though, because they had this green beans coffee, right? So people could like buy a cup of coffee for the troops or whatever. You could like post. This is back way before most people were online on the social media and whatnot. But you could have like the link, and you could like say I was in the desert. You could buy me put $25 on my green beans card. I could go to the coffee shop and get a coffee or whatever. I'm sure Webb remembers that. It had to be. I mean, you guys remember that?
Yep.
What about Afy's plugs? Do you guys have any Afy's plugs still? Over there, they wouldn't have changeover in the desert, so these little cardboard discs. They called Afy's plugs, and they said they had like 5 cents on it. Some of those are collectible, supposedly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Wooden coins?
No, just a little paper cutout from the Army Air Force.
Okay.
Afy's is Army and Air Force Exchange Service. It would just say they have like a picture of
cowboy coffee.
Yeah, because they're not trying to have all that change over there. For one, it's why it's a waste of fucking flight space. I mean, everything we had in some of those locations had to be brought on planes. So it's like, if we were ordering stuff from home, we didn't want to order too much because we had to unpack all that shit, and the flight crew would have to bring it in. Everything that came to that location came through military air. So like you couldn't. It's not like you had a fucking Amazon truck pull up. You know what I mean? The whole time you're over there, if you want to get something, you had to come through the military plane. So you had to find people who like would ship to FPOs and APOs and all that. Because not everybody would do that, and everybody wants to go through the hassle. Pizza, yeah, they had the Burger King trailer when I was in Kirkuk. I don't think I ever went there. That's the thing, man. I was like, when I was over there, I was losing weight. I was trying to diet, and I did. I lost like 50 pounds when I was over there. And that's what most people do. That's a cruel trick the service plays on you. They don't tell you. Most people, when they go to get deployed, they're trying to lose some weight, trying to diet, get in shape and all that. And they put this fucking Burger King right there and Popeyes, a lot of some of these places. And you go to the chow hall, there's freaking ice cream stands with all you can eat ice cream and stuff like that. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's crazy. But it's funny though, because
I never hated that place, man. When I was in Kirkuk, man, I was getting up. I couldn't sleep half the time anyway, so I was getting up. And the gym, the Quonset hut with the gym in it, was right behind our living facility. So I would get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym and work out, man, for an hour or two, man, before I even went in to work for 12 hours, man. So I lost a lot of weight when I was in Kirkuk.
Were you working in that big airplane hangar they had? Where was your office at?
Yep, that hangar. Yep.
Yeah. The ones with bullet holes in the roof in the first Gulf War? That was great.
Yep, that's the one.
So. we had our cargo guys, it was in the same building, but in that back part where
I was in the back part. Supply was in the front. Yep.
Yeah, my buddy Daryl was supply there when I was there. He was right in that spot. I remember they assigned me as the installation computer officer, and I knew some stuff, but like the stuff they were wanting me to do was like fucking program level shit. Because the unit that was before us was from Seattle. They were out of McCord, and they had a couple guys that worked for Google and shit. These guys were like on the ball. I get over there, I'm sitting there like, dude, I can't fucking help you, guys. There's nothing I can do. Like they give me a book. They're like, oh, you need to reroute this router here. I'm like, dude, I work for the airport. I know like how to install a couple programs. I know how to reroute wires and shit. You got to call communications for this fucking shit, man. Fuck that. But yeah, that hangar was cool, man. They had that room in the back they called the boom boom room. I don't think any of our guys used it, but they said the units before would go, you gotta do what you gotta do. But most of the fraternization was at the special forces camps. Kind of pissed me off a little bit because like we couldn't do shit, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but like all the girls go wander off into the fucking special forces camps, and they can do whatever the hell they want over there. They don't subject to all the rules and shit.
I wouldn't know. I was married, so I wouldn't know. I stayed to myself, so.
So you were saying you used to get up at 4 a.m. to go hit the gym and stuff. When we're on ship heading over to Beirut, there wasn't really much for our unit to do. I ended up being down in the weight room every day for 2-3 hours in the morning. Then again, same thing in the afternoon. Hit it again for another 2-3 hours. Just started lifting, and it's. I wish I never stopped.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too.
things get in the way. Things get in the way, like
Life
beer
gets in the way
or
of life.
you know, chicken wings over here.
That type of stuff.
I mean, let's be real. All
Life
four of us
gets in
could
the
be
way
in the
of life.
fucking gym right now lifting weights, but we're trying to, you know, have fun. Like,
I'm gonna throw a hot seat twist in tonight. David, what is your favorite thing to eat or cook, and your least favorite thing to eat or cook? Hey, I doubled it up. Do you see how I did that?
switcheroo.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Eat and cook. So you got a 2-part question on both sides.
Eat and cook. So I love chicken. I love cooking chicken. I love eating chicken. The most favorite thing to cook is doing reverse sear steaks, period. You can't get better than a reverse seared steak.
Describe
That's
a
my
reverse sear steak for those of us who aren't chefs. What is a reverse sear steak, bro?
Okay, a reverse sear, you can do it in your oven or on the smoker. You set your oven or your smoker for 250, season the steak the way you like it and stuff. Put it in there and bring it up to an internal temp of 125. Take it out, let it rest for a few minutes, then directly over flame, coals, or in a hot cast iron pan with lots of butter, sear all the edges on the outside. You get a nice medium rare steak. Perfectly done every time.
Could you do that with medium well? I'm more of a medium well kind of guy.
And for Blake TV, how many times do you flip it?
My worst thing to eat, you'll never see me with liver or lima beans. Never.
I'm not
never
a big fan of liver either, dude. I don't like liver.
And my worst thing to cook, just because I haven't become proficient enough, is doing a brisket. I got to do more briskets to get better at it. I just have not become proficient enough on it. So it's kind of one of those, I don't want to do it and waste all the money and the meat. You know?
Okay.
It's just, I've done it a couple times and it's, maybe I pulled it out too soon or I didn't wait for the stall. I don't know. It's need more practice. I just can't justify the money right now.
Ralphie May came through and you're there. Nice. When I was there, it was cool.
Yeah. How many people seen some shows while you were
the USO? Well, dude, when I was over there,
USO, right.
well, I was right in the airport terminal. So the Army guys who were in charge of the USO always talked to me. So I always had access to whoever was coming through. So like it was Smash Mouth came through, Chameleonaire came through,
right.
And there was a couple other whatever.
Sort of like the mall tour,
right,
USO tour.
Right,
and you had wrestlers.
Well, the bigger the base, the more things you're getting. Like if you're a Baghdad of Live, you're probably getting Kid Rock, fucking Robin Williams, shit like that. If you're at fucking Kirkuk or Mosul, you're getting like like Smash Mouth or.
So it's A, B.
Oh yeah.
B list.
Yeah, fucking Lance Armstrong isn't coming to Kirkuk. He'll go to Baghdad. He's not coming to Kirkuk.
I mean, I'm sure Lep and Joey can attest. I don't know about you, Darnell, but on my private page, I post a lot of stuff that I cook, and I know you've seen them, Lep, and made comments here and there and stuff. I cook a wide variety of food, but I do love my reverse sear snakes. But I do stuff like risotto balls. I do a lot of soups and sauces. I did recently. I learned how to make. What is that squash?
Getty squash?
No, butternut bisque.
Okay.
That turned out really nice, and I did a little crema decoration in the center of it and stuff. So I have a wide variety of cooking. I'm not limited to just one style.
Dude, my friends who were in, I think it was 09, they were over there. I can't remember what base it was off the top of my head. Maybe I think it was Al Assad, wherever Al Assad was. I can't remember what city it was, but they were over there and they said the WWE guys came through and they fucking trashed the plane, dude. Got pop beer everywhere, all up in the rollers and the things. They had to go through and scrub it. I got friends to this day that will fucking badmouth the WWE to their core because of the shit they do to that plane, how fucking foul the wrestlers fucked it up.
130?
Yeah, 130 coming over. Those guys don't give a fuck. They're doing whatever. They don't take into consideration.
It was a fucking party on a plane.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so in wrestling, backstage you have these little fucking just cloth separating you from the next wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like you have your own. So now you put them all in one hallway, one long hallway in a C-130, talking about be cordial.
Right? Yeah, they don't. They're not. Go to that one. See this one here. The kids cheerleaders were there actually, and we had a March Madness bracket going on, and one of them filled out a bracket. It just does whatever, and then she actually won the tournament. Like she beat everybody, all the servicemen, all the just random cheerleader from Washington, beat all the servicemen. But so I just said, "Fuck!" I could. There's no way to get a hold of her, so I just canceled all the things, and nobody got money because whatever. I couldn't even find it. But yeah, the cheerleaders are pretty cool coming over there. We had the Redskins cheerleaders over there. It's really, and it is what it is. I mean, it's they try to keep the morale up, but I mean, like it's awkward because like they had a Smash Mouth concert, for example, and like Steve Harwell, the lead singer, is a big drinker, and he was trying to substitute with coffee, and he had like fucking 4 or 6 espressos. He was out there shaking and shit, and he's like, he said, and nobody really knows what to do. You can't really dance, so it's like rock concerts in a fucking military deployed location are kind of like, it's not like Apocalypse Now when the chopper comes in, everybody's jumping in the water with the playmates. It's not even close, you know. It's kind of like a church camp almost, but it is what it is.
I just spelled that word.
What you got, Daryl?
I don't know nothing, man.
Hey, I know you got some stories, man.
So what was the highest ranking person in the government you saw when you were in the service?
The highest ranking person I saw.
Yeah, either civilian or military, like 010, generals or whatever, you know, Secretary of State, the president. Who's the highest ranking person in the chain of command you saw when you were in?
Powell? Probably Colin Powell. Because he visited one of the bases I was at, and then we went to hear him speak and stuff. So that was probably the highest ranking one I've seen. Now we had a couple of presidents roll through, but you know you don't get out there on the flight line when they roll through. So but it was probably Colin Powell's probably the one I remember. So
okay, what about you, Dave?
You're making me think. I know we've had a few generals come through while we were over in Beirut, and while I was out there, we also had I'm not sure if it was Secretary of State or one of the upper echelons like that came out for a quick visit, congressman or something, and they didn't stay very long. And when that jet took off, it almost went vertical. I mean, you know the angle on the tail feathers of the rudder? That was parallel to the ground as that jet took off.
Well, yeah.
Get the hell out of there.
They go like this, and then right when they're out, straight the fuck up, so they get out of the range of the fucking
It was
bullets.
like, get me the feck out of here now.
You're up there.
Oh man,
That was unbelievable watching those take off from the Beirut airport. Hi, hon.
Nice. Yeah, we had Bush W 43 came through in 08, but I didn't get to work the plane because he was I was guard. They were gonna let the guard guys work it. But I got to see all that rigmarole. It was cool seeing the Secret Service guys like, you know, do everything. But it's kind of like at the end of the day, why are we having, you know, Secret Service guys inspect military equipment? You know what I mean? It seems like a waste. I don't know. The Secret Service is so. I heard their morale's in the shitter. Like they're probably under the best agencies to work for.org, and they rank government agencies. They've been dead last for like fucking 6 years now, so the morale's got to be shit. But like there's I don't know, working. It's weird. It's kind of cool working with them. I mean, just seeing how they operate and all that, and I've loaded Air Force One on planes before and shit like that, and just working around that. But that was kind of cool. They travel a lot. They put all that shit in a 130, man. They just fly the plane to wherever the president's going and go around with it, man. It's pretty wild.
So one of the people that volunteers with me down my center retired out of the Air Force, 25 some odd years or whatever. Then he went back and worked as a civilian contractor for them, basically parking airplanes. And he showed me a picture of him on the first step of Air Force One. And he tells the story is, you know, he asked the men in black if he can get a picture. They said, yes, you can go on the first step only. He asked the guy, what if I went to the second step? The guy dead seriously told him, I'd shoot you.
ooh,
Flat out.
Nice.
So he has a picture of him on the first step on Air Force One, just outside of my town here at Westover Air Force Base in Chicopee, Mass.
Okay,
that's pretty
okay.
cool.
I remember some.
I mean, the Mibs were joking around when he said, "I'll shoot you."
Now, if you're talking with a guy who's in the Massachusetts Air National Guard and they say, I'm the Massachusetts Air God, they're not an air god. That's just their accents, air guard. But they'll say, I'm a Massachusetts Air God. They're not gods, bro. They're just in the guard.
No. That's only the ones from Worcester to Boston, okay? From Worcester to Boston, they forgot how to pronounce W.
The New England Guard guys are always the best.
We speak the true English. We don't park our cars on 33rd and 3rd on a Thursday.
EB's and the J was Coast Guard.
EB, Coast Guard.
There's so many Coast Guard in my building, bro. So many. Like, the whole building's half Coast Guard almost. You can get stationed in Cleveland. That'd be cool. I should just join the Coast Guard and be stationed downtown. You know what I mean?
They got that one right there, bro.
Well, they closed the main base there. The one downtown, they closed today.
Wow. Hey, we got a lot of Coast Guard on the lake because we got the ports.
Well, the headquarters of the Great Lakes District for the Coast Guard's in Cleveland, so that's where all that is. We got so many fucking commanders and shit walking around.
Yeah.
I saw one guy. There's a chapel. Me and my friend Dobie, rest in peace. But we went to a Ash Wednesday service at the Federal Building once, and Coast Guard had a chaplain stationed at the Federal Building. It was like an 06. Thinking, man, this guy's got the easiest job. And there was a chaplain assistant with him. Like a chaplain assistant in the Coast Guard in fucking Cleveland. That's got to be the easiest job in the entire military. Like, what is he doing? You feel like you should Air Force One? Yes. Yes, I should have. I should have got a grill too. A fucking grill and a little Nelly Band-Aid on the fucking cheek. I'd have loved it. The Air Force really doesn't issue good equipment, and none of the military does. It's a lowest bidder issue, and I have a problem with that because, like, if the military would issue proper equipment, the back end savings in the VA would be so much. Like, for example, if they fitted you in with a pair of boots from Nike for $600 or whatever, it would save so much money. So you don't have to give people 50% for the rest of the month for feet issues, etc. You know what I mean?
But then people be selling their $600 boots on eBay. So,
that's true. That's very true.
So.
It looks like Hobo is making us take a step.
Oh, he's doing a shot in honor of all the vets. That's awesome. Salute, Dave. Salute, brother.
Salute. The Strovia, chinga chinga, salute.
Heck yeah.
Uncle Steve is a big supporter.
He's not in Texas.
We all love him.
There's so many vets in Texas.
He's our favorite uncle.
USS, Uncle Steve Shake, United States ships. Is that coincidence? I don't think so.
So
man, they got a.
So if you could do it again, Dave, if you could pick.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I was about to say.
I was going to say, Dave, if you could join another branch of the service.
85-year-old friend of mine on to one of your shakes for he's doing a pork roast this weekend. So I gave him your pig shake. Deal,
so Dave, you said that say the Navy never existed, what branch would you have joined, or would you have joined?
Well, that's kind of tough. I'll tell you like this. At 18 years of age, young and cocky as I was too damn good looking to join the Army and be called Dogface. So that was out. The Aero Force weren't going to let me play with their aeroplanes, so that was out. And I was too much of a wimp in the pussy to join the Marines. So that left me the Navy, medical field, safe, clean environment. Problem is, the recruiter left out the part that the Navy supplies all the medical to the Marines. The joke was on me. 12 years in, I spent a third week for the Marines. You know what? If I had to do it all over again, no regrets. I'd do it probably the same way again.
Same question. He was never great. You can't ask him that.
I honestly believe every child coming out of high school or right out of college, minimum 3 years. Time to grow up. And
there should be some kind of. I wouldn't necessarily say. I wouldn't necessarily say to the military service. I would say because not everybody's fit for military service in 2022. But I would say some kind of government service program, like a year or two, would be good for youth. to get them organized
I'm-
and ready for the real world, etc.
I would have to argue against that one there, man. Look, I know how it was when we came in and stuff, but right now I'm like a flight chief, and I have like 24 young airmen that work in my section, man. Man, that's a different breed nowadays, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. So it's just I can't even explain it, man. It's just they have a different set of values. They have a different set of, you got to motivate them differently. It's just not the same, man. It's not, at least we always, the old heads that work with me, the guys who are veterans, who are civilian employees, always talk about the old Air Force, how the old Air Force or the old military used to be and stuff. You know, it ain't that way no more, man.
Swear at the new ones.
Huh?
You can't even swear and tell them to pull their head out of their fucking ass. They get offended.
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. It's a whole different ball game now, man.
That's why I
Dude,
say,
my last guard drill, I was it was my last the
real
last thing I ever
military,
did.
tell them to get their head out of their ass and grow the fuck up and get off their mama's teeth.
Yeah.
Dude, my last guard drill, right? My last one ever. The last thing I ever did, right before I sat around for like 2 seconds because I want to see what was up. I said, "Oh, I'm leaving, guys. Retired by the." So I sat down for a minute, and it was some woke comedian up there, and she was talking about sexual harassment, and she was reading comments from a YouTube video as like evidence about how men did shit. I'm like, bye, I'm out. I know I'm officially retired, but I'm really retired now, and I just walk right the fuck out. Like, my God, I don't know what it's come to. I've seen some of the Navy videos about this and that. I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling a little bit, like how much of a drastic 180 it was from when we were in, dude. It's my goodness. I don't know how some of these poor bastards live. I mean, I know they do. They probably just throw money at it, but my goodness, bro, it's just a drastic change. I mean, maybe, and they say every generation says that about the previous generation of service, but man, the past 5-10 years has just been fucking woof.
I
You know, the best one I see all the time is that old geezer that you're laughing and making fun of was more badass than you will ever be. Now, you know,
Yeah, shit changes, man. I mean,
you know, you look at
15
some of
years ago.
World War II, Korean veterans, some of the shit that they did, even the Vietnam veterans, they did some more badass shit than we'd ever dream of doing in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a 365-day tour. The tour to Vietnam was usually 365 days. You saw average about 200 days of combat during that tour. That's insane. In World War II, that was like 12 days out of 365. You know what I mean? The numbers are just mind-boggling. I've never seen another Vietnam, thank God. That was a crazy war, man.
Look at the tail gunner on a B-17 from World War II. Tail gunner on a B-17. For those of you who don't know it, B-17 was a bomber, very stable aircraft during World War II. The tail gunner had a lifespan of 3 minutes in combat. A total of 3 minutes in combat.
Yeah,
How'd you like to know that you only have 3 minutes of combat to live? Granted, combat probably didn't last that long each time, but
well, the whole thing too is that with the military, it's a different era, man. Like we still have a Cold War service, and like we really got to transition into the 21st century. And I know it's not popular, but like we're gonna have to figure it out because like they're putting band-aids on Cold War shit, and it's really the way they got the whole system is all fucked up. I mean, how many people in your career were just sitting around kind of doing nothing, really? You know what I mean? You get that feel like 60% of the servers just sitting around fucking either working quality or working, this, and they ain't doing shit. It's just fucking bureaucracy jobs, and everybody approves it, rubber stamps it in the name of freedom. So I think they really need to take a top-down look at what the military does, what our function is going to be in a new digital economy, a new digital world. I mean, the ground troop invasion days are just kind of over, man. It's
right.
Drones are killing people. Well, you know what I mean?
But then we got Russia and Ukraine.
We can take out Ukraine with drones. Yeah, we can take them out with drones.
But they're doing that kind of war right now.
Yeah. But we don't. But if we involve with that, it's easy because we just bound. We got planes. We got 70% of the world's weapons. We got so many weapons. The number one country is probably like if we had a state with weapons, it'd probably be like number 2 country with state in the world after us. And it's just how many weapons we got. It's fucking insane, bro. Insane. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the next 20 because we got so much money we spend in the government, dude. It's so much. Like, it's mind-boggling. $32 trillion in debt. You're not gonna pay that shit back. No way. No way.
No, but we keep building our defense system.
Right. They almost got $1 trillion a year in the defense budget. Think about that for a minute. Where the fuck is that money going? $1 trillion goddamn dollars. It's not going to healthcare because the fucking TRICARE is bullshit now. It's not going to fucking whatever. So
if I'm in supply still, and hey, you'd be surprised at the price of some of this shit that we have in the system, man.
Right.
How about that $600 hammer?
That $600 hammer, yeah.
What about
that $400 toilet seat?
Yeah, and people, this is true. It's absolutely true that the contractors will make ridiculous bids and the government will award it. A hammer for $600, a toilet seat for $400. Damn, I'll sell it to you for half that price.
Dude,
I'll go down to Rockies and buy
brick
it.
radios. You remember the brick radios, right?
Yeah.
Motorola, $8,000 a piece they pay for those things. $8,000. You go to the civilian market, they're $150. Same radio.
I think sometimes you got to look at now, like the bricks and like the old secure phones and stuff like that. I think that the money had more to do with the programming of those type of devices than it did the device itself. Because you're right, you could get a brick on the civilian economy for a little or nothing, but it won't have that, the secure programming and all that type of stuff in it. So
it won't have the encrypted.
Yeah, so that probably played a role in the cost of the item. So, but the biggest benefactors, I think, to the military, if you're a mom and pop operation that can provide something that a larger corporation no longer provides. I've seen where the big corporations stop producing a certain screw or a certain nut or a certain fuse or something along those lines, and a small mom and pop operation picks that up and is able to tool those in a limited quantity. They make a killing, man, because they're pushing out a smaller amount than the larger corporation. It's a vital part that the Air Force or whatever military Department of Defense needs, and they are jacking the prices up, man. So that screw that used to cost $1 a piece, man, when it was made by some large corporation, now it costs $75 a screw. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen that throughout my supply career. So
she's cheap for $75.
If you're only putting out 25 a month, that's
$75 for a screw. That's a deal. I'll take that. Sorry, I regret.
Let's not say this is exclusive to the DoD too, as well. I mean, this is you look at Medicare reimbursement rates and shit like that. This goes on everywhere. This isn't just the service. I mean, it's run amok, and I think the train's completely unstoppable. I think what'll happen eventually is we'll just get together as a world and be like, look, this is stupid. We're going to reset the world's economy. Nobody has debt. Nobody has, just go from there. I think that's the only model that's going to work. Every country on earth owns all this money to who? Like, what the fuck? Like, there's no countries like, oh, I got a $5 billion profit. Yeah. Sorry. No, China owes money. Germany owes money. We owe money. All of Africa owes money. All of South America owes money. So it's like, at the end of the day, I think we're just going to cancel that shit.
That's where everybody come in the production of the world. You know what I mean?
Well, money's just a concept. I mean, we're not on any kind of gold standard, silver standard. They just print out checks. I mean, that's literally all they do. So,
that's a negotiation tool too. When one country is bargaining with another country for something they want and stuff like that. Okay, we'll cancel this portion of your debt to us if we can get this. So I mean,
Yeah. How many debts has the American country canceled or forgiven just for a favor?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's why some people. Well, that's why people go back like, oh, this country owes this country that. And you go back far enough. I mean, who owes? I mean, geez, you go back 3,000 years. Who owns everything? You know what I mean? So those arguments are kind of silly.
You go back 3,000 years. We owe the dinosaurs another stack of hay bales.
Right. Your village was my village. 3 rocks from back in 1822. Oh yeah.
Back when Lep was just a baby.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm a baby. I'm a grandbaby. I used to sit on my grandpa's lap and listen to the stories. But yeah, I didn't follow no footsteps. You know what I mean? So
that was the first in my family. I was the only one of my cousins out of my dad's and my mom's side. There was probably about 10 of us, 12 of us maybe, that went to the service. Nobody else did. And honestly, I could play the whole time. You know me, I could play all the fucking time. I mean, well, it was like this, man. I wasn't gonna do work for the sake of doing work. Like I was busy work. The fuck out of here. If there's nothing going on, I'm sitting down. It's a break. I mean, I'm not gonna go out there and sweep this ceiling. No, fuck you, dude. I'm sitting down.
You know, that's the one question that coming up through the military when I was a senior in SEAL and stuff, and I used to ask young airmen, you know, why'd you come in? What was your reason for coming in? And a lot of people will tell you, hey, you know, I came in for job security. I came in for education. I came in to get away from home. I came in. It's very, out of my 26 years of being in the Air Force, it's very rare that I heard I joined the military because it was a family tradition. I might have heard that 2, maybe 3 times, but it's very rare you find somebody who joined the military because their dad did, and at least now, that their dad did and their grandfather was in or so forth. Yeah. It's always for some other monetary, or I got married, or for education reasons, or I had nothing to do, or what have you. But I've only heard that out of 26 years in the Air Force about 2 or 3 times.
Why'd you join?
I joined because I needed, I was getting married and I needed a steady income. My old man had his own business doing flooring, carpet, tiling. You've never done flooring. That's some hard ass work, man.
How's your knees?
Yeah. Yep. See, kicking carpet. Yep.
Right now.
Yeah. So, so I didn't want to do that. And I was going to LSU at the time when I was in the Marine Reserves trying to get my degree. And I was working my way through college, which was hard. I was working with my dad, going to classes, all that kind of shit at the same time. And so I just decided to, hey, once my Marine tour was up, I was going to go active Air Force, and I was getting ready to get married, and that way I'd have a more stable, situation for my family. So that's why I joined.
How about you, Joey? Why'd you join?
I joined because I always to be stationed in like Altus or off in Nebraska or some random ass place. I wanted to control my destiny. And my buddy, my dad worked for the VA before I did, and I had this buddy at work named Mashak, and I talked with him, just talking about stuff about the garden. I was like, all right, it sounds cool. It sounds really good. Because you can basically, you go to basic training, you come back and then you go to summer camps. You can basically pick before you were. Obviously, that was before 9/11. It was a little different after 9/11, but even then, there wasn't my entire career. I didn't get one trip I didn't pick, and everywhere I went, I picked. Because a lot of that was because I had reputations. I did this and that. I only did work when it was necessary. I'm not gonna fucking do extra work. No, it's not the way I work. You know what I mean? But it worked out great. Man, I had fun fucking 20 years. I'm not gonna lie. I met some awesome people in some fucking great places. I mean, this place I can never afford my own. I can never afford Spain in the summer, but that place was fucking banging, bro. Banging.
It was
no regrets at all.
Spain with Barcelona off the chain, boy.
So I'll throw the same
I go back to Spain in a fucking second, bro. Fucking second. Women over there, boy.
I'll throw the same question at myself. Why did I join? I was looking for a future, something to give me down the road, some sort of career path. I mean, I went to a vocational school and studied electronics for 4 years. But what I learned today was already abstract and obsolete by the time I stepped out of the school. I mean, capacitor color code. Who knows what a capacitor color code is? That is so obsolete. So I joined the Navy medical field, figured there was some sort of future in that down the road. As is, I ended up working for the phone company for 33 years before I retired.
All right.
It was a career path that I figured might give me something in the future. I was wrong.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. This is what I put this show together for. Total access to your guys' history with the United States and us and our freedom. It's one way that I could give back. on a special day with all you guys. But 10:03, we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna go off air. Feel free to click the link, and we're gonna hang out and talk more military. So
we'll see if there's titties in the after show. We'll see. I'm not
Very much,
guaranteeing it.
Darnell. Hand salute. Thank you, Lep.
love you guys.
All right, man. I won't be able to make the after show, man. I gotta go and check on the wife. She had eye surgery. She had eye surgery the other day, so I gotta go and pamper her for a little bit. So, but thank you, man.
Hey,
you guys enjoy the day tomorrow.
You. Love you, Daryl.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.
Daryl, take care, my brother.
You too, man.